and basically Genie can... Oh my god. Hail and Magic Adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. It's me, the Spud King, and I present you my new build for Cleric. Today we're making Cleric with Nature Domain subclass. So our race of choice will be Dwarf for today. I like Cleric Dwarves, they got nice proficiency with Battle Axe, Hand Axe, Light Hammer, and that's cool weapons that look amazing on Clerics, so just stylistic approach. Dwarven Resilience is useful too, we get advantage on saving throws against poison, resistance to poison damage, and nice dark vision. So subrace is Gold Dwarf to get more hit points. More hit points means we are more tankier, we can take more damage, and we can heal ourselves and our teammates. That's nice pick for Cleric, but again, you can pick whatever race you like. Actually, in Baldur's Gate 3, it doesn't matter so big. Class, of course, will be Cleric and Nature Domain. Nature Domain gives us ability to pick one of the druid's cantrips. We get Speak with Animals and Animal Friendship spells from the start, and we are proficient with Animal Handling, Nature, and Survival. So if you want someone in your party to be able to speak with animals, be friends with animals, while your other party is mainly like fighters and other guys, then it's nice pick. And if you don't want to go full druid, for example. So Nature Domain is basically a mix of druid and cleric. For starting cantrips, we're picking, as always, Sacred Flame, because it's our range damaging cantrip. Guidance, it's just the best one for dialogues, and if you need help in ability checks. And Produce Flame, sometimes we just need this flame. So for druid cantrips, you can go with Shillelagh, or in my opinion again, it's like Shillelagh, but my Ireland friends telling me it's Shillelagh, so whatever. Or Thorn Whip. For today's playstyle, I recommend Thorn Whip, because first of all we're playing Dwarf and we will play with Battle Axe, Hand Axe, these cool weapons, and you can't cast Shillelagh. And Thorn Whip can pull creatures 3 meters closer to you, that will be useful for our playstyle. So deity doesn't matter, it's only for dialogues and your role-playing, pick whatever you like. Background, Soldier is important. For today's background we want proficiency in athletics. So you can pick Soldier or Outlander to get this athletics, and Outlander will fit more to our theme as the Druid Cleric, so we get this survival, but I like Soldier to get this little intimidation advantage. So for our abilities we go, skill proficiency don't matter, we pick 10 to 14, 10 Dexterity, 16 Constitution to survive and keep concentration, no Wisdom, no Intelligence, sorry, and Wisdom is our main primary ability. Of course, we maxing out it to 16 with bonus, so bonuses goes to Constitution and Wisdom. And Charisma 10, just because we can. Or vice versa, you can just have 0 Charisma and add +2 to Intelligence to get it to 10. So this will give you no penalty on Intelligence saving throws, and you still got proficiency in Charisma, so you get this +1 to Charisma, so that's like nice idea to mix it up. As Cleric we can prepare 4 spells from the start of the game, and we will prepare in Guiding Bolt, our range damaging spell, Inflict Wounds, melee damaging spell, Healing Word to use our magic, to use our bonus action to heal us or our teammate, and Shield of Faith. This shield will give you additional armor class and it will increase it by 2 points. That's big in early game, one of the best early game protection spells. You can cast it on yourself or on your allies. Just like that, we're ready to go into the game. And as always, let's level up few levels. So second level gives us Channel Divinity charges. It's like bonus actions that Cleric have, bonus attribute, bonus future, and you can use it to turn undead. It will make all undeads nearby basically pointless, they will only run around and can't attack. So that's cool feature to have when you're facing undeads. You always want to have Cleric in your party. For actions, you get this class action. You can charm nearby beasts and plants. So that's cool part. If you face many plants enemies or animal enemies, you can basically go and charm them with your Channel Divinity charge. And this will remove the ability to attack. And that's cool part. So that's nice to have in these areas where you're facing a lot of plants. So every level, a Cleric gets additional prepared spell, so you can prepare 1 more spell. But new spells levels will be available on every odd level. And you basically know all spells, so you don't need to pick carefully. If you don't like any spells that I recommend to you, you can basically go and change them, or just think what you need. So for example, Protection from Evil and Good, very nice spell if you're facing a lot of fiends, fays, undeads, elementals and other guys like this. When these creatures will attack you, if you got this protection, they will have disadvantage on their attack rolls. That's like big stuff. They will probably miss you a lot, and this requires your concentration. So in these areas, it's really nice to have, for example, this protection instead of Shield of Faith. Okay, level 3. We get these additional spells of level 2, that is druid spells, and they will be always prepared, so you will always be able to cast these spells. So as for our spells, while again you can pick whatever spells you need in the current situation, maybe you're facing a lot of mages, so go with silence. Maybe you need protection from poison, but that's like okay, you can pick it wherever you like because it's not require you any concentrations, it's a nice spell to have. Or you need some protection from diseases, poisons and other stuff, so pick whatever you like from here. But for our playstyle right now, I recommend spiritual weapon for this playstyle. So let's go and I show you how to play this on early levels. So from this type of cleric you get this Barskin spell. You can touch creature and make this creature armor class to 16. As you can see, we're getting this AC to 16, and that's cool spell if you want to use concentration on your other party members most of the time. But if you're wearing your shield and at least medium armor from the start of the game, that is like not very good armor, you can find better armors just insanely fast. Basic Shield of Faith will be just better concentration spell, so you just use this and your armor class instantly becoming 17 with just basic gear. And yeah, with good gear it can go up to 20, and 20 is just nice armor class. So still it's nice spell to have. For example, if you got someone in your party who got only like 13 armor class, this will be better than your Shield of Faith, but most of the time you can just throw it away. So protection from poison is nice spell to start the day. Again, it doesn't require you any concentration. You can cast it on your party members who don't have resistance to poison. As dwarf, we got this resistance, so we don't need to cast it on ourselves. And basically that's like start of the day spells. And we lost our spell slots on this protection from poison. So make sure to understand when you're using your spell slots. You got cantrips, you can cast them as much as you want. For example, Sacred Flame, Produce Flame. You just make this flame in your hand. Then you can hurl this flame and it will fire up some area, so that's a nice idea to have. And this requires no spell slots because it's cantrips. While this is spells and this will require spell slots, some require spell slots from first level, some require spell slots from second level. And you got 4 spell slots of first level, 2 spell slots of second level, so you can use it. Let's go into the fight and I show you the strategy. So strategy, why we don't want a lot of concentration spells right now. Because Spike Growth is very good concentration spell. So you can play like a basic cleric, just go in, attack with your mace, your axe, then use your magics, then heal with bonus action, and that's it basically. You can summon your spiritual weapon. This weapon will help you in the battle, so on the first rounds it's nice to summon this with bonus action, then when you get hurt, use bonus action to heal your party, and that's basically it. That's what you want to do with your cleric. But as druid cleric you can utilize this Spike Growth. So how to utilize it and how to use it. Basically it will summon this area, and this area will be hard terrain, so it will be hard for enemies to move in this area, and for you too. And they will be damaged for each 1.5 meters they move on this terrain. So basically you find enemies that don't fly like these guys and cast it just directly on them. So they can do 2 things out from this. They can try to jump, or they can try to move away or move towards you, or just stay in place, just to not get like damaged. And that's where you get this Torn Whip. So if they try to run away, you just go and pull them closer to you. So always think where you want to cast it. Maybe you want to cast it, just let me show you something like this. And this imp, for example, will go to the top because it's short distance and he won't get a lot of damage. Yeah, this imp will die, but stronger enemies won't. And they will use all their movement on the hard terrain to move over there, and you use your Torn Whip to pull them towards you. So that's like smart ways of using this spell. And let's just cast the spell. And as cleric you're pretty tanky, you want to come towards your enemies. So if they try to run away from you, they will trigger your opportunity attack. And while this enemy is threatened by you, he will provoke opportunity attack if he tries to run away. your third enemy can be threatened by this great axe, for example. And just like that, from the start of your turn, you can basically threaten 3 enemies. 1 enemy being in the hard terrain, 1 enemy threatened by your great axe, your spiritual weapon that's doing force damage, least resistant damage in the game, and you threatening another enemy. Just like that, you basically 1 versus 3 enemies. Easy. So this dude decided he wanted to move, and somehow he's resistant to this type of damage, I guess. But that's basically what you do. So, and when they run away from this part, you want to just aim, for example, over here, and try to turn whip them into this hard area again. So they need to move again. And on second and other turns, don't forget to use bonus action to heal your teammates or even yourself. This will use level 1 spell slot, but being healthy is a nice idea. So another cool part, that your spiritual weapon can fly basically, and you can fly around this terrain and not get this problem with movement. So that's our Cleric gameplay basically on the levels, and if you got some problems, don't forget you can use your basic magic to just destroy your enemies into ashes. So it's time to level up and finish our build. We get additional cantrips. Dramaturgy is nice cantrip for clerics. It's nice to get advantage on intimidation checks in dialogue. That's one of the reasons why I like soldier background for this type of cleric. So we get additional feats, and as always we go in just +2 into wisdom to get wisdom as high as possible. It will affect our spell casting abilities. We get 1 more prepared spell, and most importantly, difficulty class of our spells that will affect how successful our spells against enemies. So just like that, let's go to level 5. Level 5 we get new class features that is available to every cleric. We can damage undead creatures when we successfully turn them. So basically that's just nice feature. When you're fighting undeads, you use your turn undead, and you will inflict from 4 to 24 damage, radiant damage. That's nice and cool feature. So we get additional spells, and again it's always prepared spells because they come from our subclass, from Lineage Cleric. We get this plant growth, and we get this slit storm. So that's nice spell to break concentration of enemy spellcasters, and plant growth to make additional hard terrain. And I will show you in a minute our strategy with these 2 spells. So we get access to a lot of level 3 spells, and again, your main concentration spells will be spike growth for now, if you want to go with this nature cleric style. So best idea is to go with spells that don't require your concentration. Mass Healing Word, it's same as Healing Word, it uses bonus action but heals more creatures at a time. Glyph of Warding, nice spell, you create trap and it requires no concentration. And Revivify, just to revive your teammates without scrolls if you need to. We can continue to level 6, but I will just show you a quick explanation what you want to do on this level as this type of cleric. So that's our lineup: range spell, melee spell, bonus action spell with spiritual weapon, heal, revive, just in case you haven't healed so much. And that's our combination. So we get this spike growth, and basically what you want to do to cast this spike growth in some area where enemies need to go and attack you and your allies. So you create this area over here. Now they threatened to go over here anyway, and that's not it. This requires you to take concentration. So on next turn you go and use your plant growth, this level 3 spell, and you create it over here. So right now we got terrain that's doing damage to enemies, and hard terrain that is hard for enemies to go through. And on next turn you're making your Glyph of Warding, and most of the time you will use detonation. And this detonation spell will basically push enemies away when they're trying to go through this stuff. So you make it over here, and you just basically create it impossible to go through trap. So they need to go through this spikes. They will take a lot of damage if they try to. If they go here, they will be really hard for them to go through this stuff. And if they finally will go to this rose bushes, they will be exploded and pushed back away to these spikes, just like that. So that's crazy combination what you can do on these early levels. And let's go and level up. So level 6, nothing special. Level 7, that's where it gets more cooler for us, of course. We get in this dash word, and we get in freedom of movement. That's craziest stuff we can get. So level 7 gets us this freedom of movement, and again it goes to our day start spells. So it will go over here, and that's spells that we can start the day. and we want to have it on us. So as this type of cleric, we want to be in the front line as much as possible. And basically when enemies finally go through the spikes, now we can go and push them. We got nice strength, we got nice athletics checks bonus from our background, and with this freedom of movement we won't be slowed by hard terrain caused by any hard terrain. So we can go on this plant growth freely and push enemies away. This like crazy stuff while your party standing behind and shooting arrows. Something like this will be very good for our cleric play style. So level 8 gives us additional action, and this action will inflict cold, fire or lightning damage in addition to our weapon attack. That's nice feature to have, to inflict more damage with basic attacks if you're doing them. So we get additional prepared spells, we don't care about them, but we can prepare Guardian of Faith. Guardian of Faith is really cool stuff. It's like, again, one more zoning tool to protect some zones, and that's like very zoning cleric, as you can see. So for our feat of choice, right now on level 8, I tend to go with Warcaster, with clerics, because we will be threatened so much with many enemies will try to break our concentration, and this will give us advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on spells. Just like that, let's go to level 9. So level 9 gives us additional spells from level 5, and we already get everything we need. So just in case, we can have something like Flame Strike or Greater Restoration, depending on in which area we are, or maybe Dispel Evil and Good, if we're facing a lot of thieves, fiends, elementals and other guys. So just analyze what area you are in and pick spells for this area. But we get most important spells already, so it's Insect Plague, again one more concentration spell that will make difficult terrain, inflict lots of damage. And one more tool, Wall of Stone. Again, if you need to just protect some area, you can create this Wall of Stone. But this not doing any damage, so make sure you're picking right spells to do. On level 10 we get this awesome cleric feature, Divine Intervention, and you can cast it only one time per game. So that's like cool feature. Get additional cantrips, we don't care. Spells, again, pick wherever you like, and they always known, so you can change them at any time. Level 11 gives us ability to pick level 6 spells. So good spells of level 6 is, as always, Hero's Feast to give your party additional hit points for whole day, or Planar Ally, that's like really strong summon. Or if you're like best healer in your party, Heal is always nice spell to have. And level 12 gives us ability to pick more spells, we don't care too much about them, we already have everything we need, so we can go and put 2 points into Wisdom to max out these characteristics. What and how we play. We can start with Hero's Feast to increase our health points for all our party, we get bonus hit points, and with some camp supplies, so that's like cool, fun feature. But most of the time, for this type of cleric, you want to go with other spells. So Wall of Stone, useful to just make this Wall of Stone to protect some area, but again, most of the time, you don't need it, you better go with some damaging spells. So what's our damaging spells? As this type of cleric, you get this Dominate Beast, so you can make any beast fight alongside you, but we don't have beasts here. So Spike Growth right now making less damage if we cast it from level 2, but we can upcast it up to level 6, and this won't do anything. So right now Spike Growth is kind of forgotten spell, and we can just destroy it. Instead we're getting this Insect Plague from level 5 spell slot, and as you can see, area is large, crazily large area. So we can cast this spell easily. Over here, this will create hard terrain, this will create this little bees, flies, and they will damage enemies, create hard terrain. You still can use this plant growth to make this hard terrain, hard moving terrain, so enemies will have hard time moving out away from this stuff. You still can use your Glyph of Warding to make this trap. You can use Guardian of Faith because he does not require any concentration to create this area, like he will protect this area when enemies come in, and you can use Planar Ally, and yeah, make sure not to put him inside this plague because it will damage anyone. And for our summon, I actually recommend to go with Genie, because Genie is cool and strong dude. And additionally, Genie got this Whirlwind, so he can summon this stuff, and most importantly, Thunder Wave. So Thunder Wave will push away enemies, and basically Genie can... Oh my god, I can resurrect myself. Yo, you saw what Genie can do, yeah? He can just basically push you on these dangerous areas. So that's what Genie can do. Make sure not to push yourself. So start of the day spells. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. So we get armor, we get protection from hard terrain, we get dashboard. And armor just in case. Most of the time you don't even need to cast this Shield of Faith no more, because you will be concentrating on other damaging spells. So another good spell is Grasping Wine. Again, you can combine it with Plant Growth, so you create this hard terrain on the first turn, then you create this Grasping Wine on second turn, and this wine will be in your party. So let me just wake up these dudes. So what this wine will do, you basically attack your enemies, and this wine will lure enemies to eat. So this will be hard for enemies to go outside of this area. You can basically go and drag them towards you, but they can resist it. So again, it's nice to combine with other spells like dangerous areas, but this wine requires your concentration, so you can't combine it with Insect Plague, for example, but you can make Lethal Warding, so you can make Little Trap, you can make the Guardian of Faith over here, so this wine, for example, will pull enemies towards this dude, and yeah, as always, you can cast Spiritual Weapon nearby this wine, so this weapon will help to fight. And yeah, you can upcast your Spiritual Weapon for additional damage and additional hit points, so you can even upcast it to level 6 spell, just like that. And this Spiritual Weapon will be really beefy, at least a little bit more beefy than before, and with more damage. So always pull your enemies towards you, then these enemies will be attacked by Guardian of Faith. Make these tornadoes with your genie, and that's basically your strategy with this type of Cleric. Just zone all enemies so they will have hard time to attacking your allies, while your allies using their bows, magics and other stuff to attack enemies. Really patient and control stuff of the battle will be rewarded with this type of Cleric. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you will have great time with this build in Baldur's Gate 3. If you want to watch other cool videos, they are on the screen right now, and see you in the next videos, guys.